Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Here's our hosts, Steve Collins, and Bill Flitter.
All right. Welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops, episode 19.
19. Yeah.
Am I right? Episode 19. I couldn't remember. All right. And this
My
one
son
is
just turned 19, by the way. Last podcast, I think you said your daughter turned 18 on the 18th.
And my son's going to turn 21. Yeah. And on a side note, I told him next summer he turns 21 in February. I said next summer I'm taking you to Vegas. Oh. He loves to play poker. So I said, that'll be a fun dad trip to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So anyway, he's excited.
Coach's clinic. That's just another hour from where I'm at, Coach. We can do that.
We should do that. Clinic. Are you an hour from Vegas?
It's really a quick flight. Yeah. So.
Maybe we got to do that. We have to think about it. We'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
Then the IRS, I could deduct it part of the trip. Then not the whole trip, but part of the trip. If the IRS,
we could do it in Vegas.
We could do it in Vegas. Ooh. What happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas. You don't
like
gambling?
Tahoe, which is
I like Tahoe. I
like Tahoe. Yeah, good family.
Vegas is a better 21-year-old adventure first. Yeah, I agree. I'd rather go to Tahoe to gamble too. I agree. Anyway, so okay. I do not have a gambling addiction. I promise you. All right. So today was a Facebook group, which I'll put the link down below. Question, correct?
Question, yeah. Coach Thomas was he's a member of our Facebook group, Coach Youth Hoops Facebook group, and here's what he said. He says, lots of drills are too complex, require a certain number of players. In a 7-player team, I often will only have 5 to 6 show up. So how do you run a practice with 5 or 6 show up? And I'm going to imagine, because I know I ran into that in my high school team last year because of COVID.
We couldn't practice. We got postponed. Yeah. We had a call off game. I mean, I have never done that in 30 plus years. Had a varsity team and I couldn't have practice. I didn't have enough players. The whole JV team or sophomore team was already shut down. I know. Yeah. So what's your answer to this, Coach?
It's a struggle. I'm going to say it is a struggle because I'll give you another good example. We have practices in the summer and we have a summer league. And this is for my high school team, but it's relatable because it happened this weekend in a tournament. So we had practice on Thursday, and I look on Team Snap to see what the availability of people are. And I mean, Coach, I wrote the most beautiful basketball practice plan 3 days before. And I'm like, okay, these guys, here's what we need to work on. I'm trying to, get in a groove. I figured out what this team needs. And then I look on Team Snap and I'm going to have 5 people there. And I'm
right,
like,
because they're going on vacation, and they should, to be honest,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm not judging them. That's great. Right. Go on vacation, get it out now, because you're not doing it in November.
Right.
But I had to completely change the practice plan, because I wanted to do team stuff. We're struggling in a few team stuff, so I had to change and adjust to the players that I had there. And I think that's the key thing, is to be able to adjust. Yeah, you might not be able to do your 5-on-5, but 3-on-3 works just as fine.
3-on-3 is the perfect game. The game of basketball is 2-on-2, 1-on-1, and 3-on-3. If you watch a game, it's never all 5 really in unison. It's usually small groups. And I'm going to quote, Madeline Hunter is a famous educator, whatever. And one of her big things was monitor and adjust. And that has gotten me through 30 years of teaching. I remember it from undergrad. It's like, it's true, because you got to monitor the situation and adjust to what you're given. What I was talking to you about, us not being in our high school gym this year. Yeah. Well, I had to monitor and adjust. I had to, what we can do in a middle school. How do I get my shooting machines there? How we're on fan backboards, and guys can't dunk in these gyms because these aren't breakaway. I mean, I'm adjusting to what I'm given. And I think good educators are good coaches, that you have to adjust.
You have to adjust.
So you'll be fine at this age. Work on fun stuff, work on skill development stuff, work on small-sided, what we were talking about last week with small-sided game stuff. Teach them to what happens when you're playing 2-on-1 or 2-on-2 and you disadvantage stuff and things like that. I think you can lean into all that, and you're worry about the 5 or 6 that are there, because you're going to make them better basketball players as well.
And that's right. And it's all about your enthusiasm and how you approach that. Was I disappointed that I didn't have 15 players in the gym? Yeah, I was. They're never going to hear that unless they listen to this particular episode. But you know what? I went in there. Those are the 6 that ended up showing up. Those were the most important players that needed to be there that day. And I'm going to coach them with the same amount of enthusiasm as I would if all 15 were there, right? And I think that's really important. I've seen this question in different forms come up in forums, and gotten this asked where the coach is like disappointed. It's like, no. I've done practice with 1 player, and I'm like, you know what? You just got a private training session for 60 minutes, and I worked that player, and it's something that she appreciated. She got better training in the end anyway, and we were fine tuning her game. It's like, I don't care.
I don't care. Like I was telling you, I open the gym up before school. I don't coach them, but I open it up. I don't care if 1 kid shows up. If 1 kid shows up, it's worth me waking up at 6:30 in the morning to open the gym up. I don't, as long as there's 1 there to get on, great. That
0 sucks. I'll give you that. 0 sucks. But.
0's bad. You don't want 0. All right. Anything else on this? Oh, basketball practice plans. Talk about that real quick before we jump off, Coach, because I know
So,
you've been busy the last couple of weeks. We were talking about. I know.
I've been jamming on getting basketballpracticeplans.com out to help coaches, structure their practice the right way. Each practice is a progression, so you'll see that. But go sign up now, right? You missed the early bird discount. That's sold out right away, but you still will get a discount. Honestly, coaches, I'm looking for feedback. I want feedback. I want this to be helpful. State it again, right? We want to.
I know, and it's like, I told you how busy you were going to be as soon as we launched this a couple of weeks ago. So you're going to want, if you want coach's attention, you better jump in, because anyway, he wants to stay married, and he only has so many hours in a day. So I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. We were talking before we came on about how busy he's been. But anyway, all right, so basketball practice plans. Did you buy Plan? If you didn't buy Plan, you should buy Plan. Did you buy Plan too?
It's not available.
Oh, it's not available.
Oh, now the guy's going to recall. Yeah, you want plans for $6,000? I'll sell it.
Yeah. It's plans. Plural. Plans.
Because how many you have more than
one plan?
No. You want plans, right? How many practices do you have, right?
You got lots.
That's right.
All right. Until next week, Coach. All right. See ya.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.